La 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 la. La 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 la.
Hi.
How are you?
Hello, Paul.
Hello.
Oh my God, look who it is.
Been a while. How you doing, Paul?
The legend himself.
Hi, can you hear me?
I'm supposed to ask 3 questions, is that right?
Look at you. Glasses, beard, long hair. Hey, how are
I
you?
know. Oh, my people. Should hear me now. You hear me now?
I hear it now. How are you?
All right. How you doing, Paul?
I'm good. Look at you.
Yeah.
You're back on the road.
Yeah, I'm back on the road. Can you believe that?
Yeah, I
You
can't.
doing this in your studio? Yeah.
Yeah, I'm in my studio.
Yeah.
Jerry Wyzard told me that you guys are having a grand time.
Yeah, man. Super cool. He's just fantastic. I'm so happy to have him with me.
And he says he's learning a lot about space from you, about how to leave the holes.
Yeah, find the holes.
Yeah.
Notes you leave out the right notes. It's like playing the right ones. It's like leaving the right ones out too.
He's been great. So he said that you guys are making some beautiful music. That's great. I mean, I believe we're friends, but I have some experiences of you outside of being friends with you that I'd like to talk about. And I'd like you to tell some stories.
Yeah?
Yeah, I want you to tell some stories.
First meeting Paul Reed Smith.
Oh, you remember? I remember. You remember where it was?
Well, the first time I met you was on that shuttle bus. You know, a shuttle bus?
Nope. First time I ever met you was in our booth at NAMM. And I turned to Amy Keys, the great singer, and I said, "Who's that?" She goes, "Oh, that's Keb Mo." You lit the place up, Kevin.
Oh.
And then I want blood.
Well, watch out. Watch out.
Oh my God. Hey. How are you?
I know. Oh, my people.
Wyzard, you cut your hair off?
Huh?
Did you cut your hair off?
Oh yeah, completely. My daughter cut it off in the middle of the pandemic.
What motivated that?
Her birthday, 19. You know.
Unbelievable.
Yeah. When she was born, I shaved my head, and when she turned 19, I shaved it again.
You guys are shut down in mothballs from COVID, and now you're back out. How does it feel?
Well, I tell you, this kind of took up where we left off, all of us, I liked being at home, so it was kind of a short time, It went fast. Time flies when you're having fun.
Yeah, it does. Kevin, I'll tell you a story. In my town, if you didn't play Mother's Finest music, you weren't a band. So it was part of learning the meters and learning Mother's Finest and learning, all things Free or Deep Purple or Allman Brothers or all these bands, was part of what was here. And then we were the home of Chuck Brown and got all this extraordinary music, and Wyzard's band impregnated our town as well. And when you played, what was the thing that you did for Christmas? What was the thing you did for Christmas that went worldwide? What was that thing you did for Christmas? You got the chance to play for the whole world at Christmas this year.
Oh, the Christmas tree lighting thing?
Yeah, I guess it was. It was
Washington, D.C., the lighting of the national Christmas tree.
Yeah, so he's lighting the national Christmas tree, and I'm watching TV, and here comes Keb Mo on, killing it like Frank Sinatra, absolutely murdering it. I called and started screaming at him. He absolutely played perfectly, sang perfectly, and they tweeted that worldwide. You were the highlight of the show.
Oh, no.
Oh, I thought so. Now, wait a minute. Am I supposed to keep my opinions about your musicality to myself because we're friends?
Well, you just told me.
Billy Porter was the highlight. You saw Billy Porter. He went out there and killed that shit, nailed it, man. But thank you. I'll take the compliment.
Kevin's one of my favorite guitar players on the planet. That is a fact. And I think that playing 3 notes powerfully is a lot better than playing 100 notes, period. I mean, there's something vocal about playing 3 or 4 notes. There's something beautiful about it. And, the way you approach the guitar, Keb, it sounds vocal to me.
I only have 3 notes,
What, the 1, the flat 7, and the flat 3? Is that what you... what?
No, I maybe have 4. I have a pure 3 too, man.
You have a couple extras. Are you guys doing Grandma's Hands while you're out? What tunes are you playing?
We're doing sometimes we're doing Lean on Me on the things,
Yeah.
But we're doing most of the stuff from my record. The cover is Lean on Me. When we have an hour set, we do Lean on Me, and that's on my latest record.
Really?
The record called Good to Be.
I never got to meet him one-on-one. Chuck Brown used to talk about him a lot and how he was.
Great, man. He would just come in and just take over and start telling stories and start telling. He's the life of the party, man.
Really?
He was funny. He just come in and just start talking shit right off the bat. Yeah.
Chuck Brown said he saw him read a record company guy the Riot Act. Went nuts because he wasn't getting checks and he had a #1 single out. Oh, he was hot. Chuck said it was a fight to be witnessed.
Wow.
Yeah.
Woo.
Yeah.
Bill was a big boy.
Yeah.
He was a big old boy.
So, Wyzard, I think you're sitting next to one of the best blues singers alive, period. You know that, right?
Yeah, I am going to school working with this guy.
Yeah.
I had to put all of my supposed knowledge in the back seat, and I cleansed my mind for a new foundation of approach,
Yeah.
And it's cool the way, what he expects from bass lines, the length of the note and the space and the dance of the bass line, and all I say, oh, okay, I gotta, Yeah, but it's great. I mean, when this, like after a couple of months with this, I would have grown.
So why don't you come here and expose us to some of this new groove that you're coming up with?
I would love to. I'm looking at your studio. You got some new gear in there, right?
Uh-huh. Lots of it.
It looks really interesting, yeah.
Is that a tape machine back there?
Uh-huh, but it's been turned to a D-Day converter. It's what Bill Schnee had in his studio as a D-Day converter. It sounds like a tape machine.
You got a reverb chamber.
I've been in
low. Yeah.
You showed it to me. I was in there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Paul Reed Smith, king of the guitar playing soulful nerds.
You want me to finish the story about how I met you, Keb?
Yeah.
So you were standing in our booth, and I had never met you, and you had a whole bunch of people around you, and you were lit up like a Christmas tree, just spiritually lit up, beautiful. And I didn't know who you were, and I said to Amy Keys, I said, "Who's that?" Oh, she goes, "Oh, that's Keb Mo." And I went over and tackled your ass. I went over, I wanted to talk to you. I wanted to know who you were. I wanted to know if we could hang out. I wanted to give you a book about the recording thing that I sent you. I wanted to meet the guitars. I just wanted to be near you because there was so much music coming out of you, whether you were playing or not. It happened to me another time. I was in the parking lot at PRS, and I was walking along, and all of a sudden I took a left-hand turn and was standing in front of me, looked like a black version of the Man in the Yellow Hat from, what's the book with the monkey? Curious George. Here's a guy, and he's standing there in this yellow suit, and I went, "Who are you?" And he goes, "My name's Nana." And I went, "Oh, shit." Nana means king in Ghana. This was one of the kings of Ghana in my parking lot. And he literally, I was walking along and something pushed me over into him. I was like, "Who are you?" And I basically tackled his ass, and we went to dinner, and we've been friends ever since. The same kind of thing happened with you, and you have been, very sweet about trying to find the right instrument for you to play and trying to find what's the right gear for you, and you've always played Fender single coil kind of guitars, and would these other things work for you? And it's just always interested in having a better tool to do a job, which is to play music. You're fundamentally, at your deep core, a gifted musician, and that part was what I wanted to be around Keb.
Oh, thank you, Paul. You're way kind. I appreciate that, man. I'm gonna accept that.
As Carlos
in
said,
the most gracious and humble way that I can.
Carlos says, deal with it. You know what's good about Wyzard? He's not calcified. He wants to learn.
Oh, really? I was just telling this morning. I said, Wyzard's he's like if you had a first grader class, you want all your students to be like Wyzard.
Yeah.
He's so ready. Just always. And what are you, like 100 now?
Yeah. 102. We're both hitting 70. And he's just so like, what? Yeah. Like, no. Did you ever get issued an ego? I mean,
you didn't get one of those, did you?
No.
He's got no ego.
Well, actually, he does. He actually does by one definition. One definition is that I'm an ass, and I'm going to tell you how much better I am than you are. He doesn't have one of those. Yeah. The other one is the willingness and desire to have impact on the world. He's got a big one of those. He wants to have impact on the world. He's always wanted to have impact on the world. And the thing I like about Wyzard's playing the most is that joy impregnates the room when he plays. Now that, I don't even know how. That's not teachable. I don't know how you do that. You got to remember, I'm a guitar maker, but I want to be a musician. You guys are musicians that don't want to be guitar makers. I think it's completely all wrong and cool at the same time.
Oh, I've seen you play. You got both going. You're in the rare. You got both. I was surprised when I saw you play in D.C. that time when we came from Naris at the D.C.
Yeah.
And you were playing. I was like, shit, this motherfucker can play.
I know he can play. I said the same thing when I first saw him play. I didn't know you could play.
All right, now wait a minute. I'll tell that story. We were doing the Star Spangled Banner with Chuck Brown. And I looked down, and at my feet was Quincy Jones. And I looked away and said, I ain't looking back.
No.
Because I couldn't play knowing that Quincy Jones was sitting in front of me.
You don't look around. Just
don't look down, Paul. He's not there. That didn't happen. One time I was playing in Nashville, and I looked down, and Adrian Ballou was standing in front of me. I was like, I ain't looking back.
Yeah.
Because I had to play.
You can hang with all of them, Paul.
I don't know about that, but it's okay. It's okay. It's okay. I know. I have a couple of cards in my deck that are beautiful. I don't have the whole deck. I'd like to have the whole deck, but I don't have the whole deck. But I got a couple cards that are very cool.
Yeah.
What's the biggest gig you ever played, Keb? What's the one that you just walked out and went, oh my God, look at this sea of people?
Oh man. Gosh, I guess when I went out there was, first time I went comes to mind is when right after 9/11 when Garth Brooks called me and had me come play at the Forum with him, sit in,
Yeah.
And play a show. I was like, whoa, because LA was LA and it was like a country audience. Yeah. Not even, and it was like I had never seen a country artist in LA, which is the most not country. And it was like, where did all these people come from? And they came from like I know they come from all different places, and it was like a weird. But anyway, God, I don't know. I don't remember. I kind of forget about where I played and I live in the moment. I can't remember.
Good.
I don't hold on to those moments.
Good for you. Good for you.
I never think like that's my favorite place or this is it. This is this. No, I just kind of think it's all cool. It's all good. My favorite place to play is the one I'm playing in. Because everything's in the present. Your whole life is in the moment you're in. Past and present.
Yeah.
So that really the past does not exist and the future does not exist, but it all does exist in the moment. That's why the infinity of the moment is what I love the most about playing. Just totally being there.
What you just said, people aspire to, but they don't get there. You were there, and people can aspire to what you just said. That was really cool. I was taught that the job of the spiritual warrior is to stand at the river and wait for moments to come by and take the ones that you want. And when you get good at looking, they come so fast you can't believe it, and then you get to really pick. And in a way, that's in the same garden but different.
Yeah, I get things every day. I think I got about 3-4 things a day already. I mean, it's always there's always something good coming. And I had a talk with my keyboard player, one of my keyboard players today, and we were talking about this morning about, something like politics and voting and how people vote with their wallet sometimes or whatever, politics, And I just said, I don't really look at politics, and I don't look at my money is the last thing I look at, because if I'm aligned spiritually, in the way that I'm choosing to be in my highest self, I don't ever have to worry about money. Now I don't have a lot of money, I mean, maybe to somebody in a third world country, going to market to sell bottles of apples, I have a lot, but in terms of the grand scheme of like what wealth is, I'm a pauper,
Yeah.
But like that's the last thing I look at, and to me, wealth is whatever you need shows up, When you have to worry and everything you need just shows up, and that's how my life is. And it's been that way for probably 30 years now, where it's every time something I need shows up, whether I like it or not. Like you showed up, I'm going, Paul, like, well, can I make you a guitar? You still there?
I'm still here.
And I call you and I tell you, I said, like, that guitar you made me, I keep, and I don't, because I won't settle on, like, I keep trying to top it, and I can't top it.
Well,
it's just really.
Can I have another try at it?
I said, make me another. I called Bill. I said,
we're doing that. I'll work on that one.
Yeah, but it's brilliant. It plays beautifully, and it's made by a living guitar maker.
Yeah, we get a whole team of people.
Those guys are gone. But when the guy puts his name on it and stands behind the product, like you do, it's fantastic. And that's all in the instrument. It comes out of the instrument. And I go like, God damn it.
I'll tell you a story, Keb. If I want to talk to Antonio Torres, who invented the acoustic guitar, really, or if I want to talk to Leo Fender, or I want to talk to Ted McCarty, or I want to talk to Fred Gretsch, Senior, or I want to talk to any of these guitar makers, Christian Martin, you can't call them on the phone. But there's something magic in my business. Everything they believed is in the guitar. What they believed that day is in the guitar. So if you hold the guitar, it will talk to you. It will tell you what they thought. The same way if you listen to Ain't No Sunshine, that's what Bill Withers thought that day. In that studio with that song, it's all there.
Yeah.
Have you listened to Who Is She, Who Is He, and What Does He Mean to You? That all stays on to one. That's what he thought that day. Oh my God, there's so much learning in that tune, right? So in the world of music, it's also true in the world of guitar making. You can get these guitars and they will talk to you and tell you everything that person thought that made it that day. That was what their belief was that day, if they were a master. If they were just doing it for the money and, there was nothing spiritually there, I don't hear them talk. But oh my God, well, these things talk. And, for me, that's kind of a guitar maker's moment where you're trying to learn from what they'd learned, right? If I take everything I learned from one person, I'm stealing. But if I've learned from 10 people, it's research. And to me, you know, what you're talking about, being in the moment, you're taking all that beautiful research that you've done about how to be fluid in this thing called music, and then you're just snitching the moments out of the day. You said you had 4 of them today, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, it happens in our world, in the guitar making world, a little different. And for when you say I can't beat the guitar, I get a little competitive and go, let me have another shot at it. Let me have the bat. Let me have another shot at it. Give me the bat. Pitch the ball. Let's go. Come on, let's go after it.
Yeah. If you could get the 750 out of it, that would be it.
You talking about a frequency, or are you talking about a batting average?
Frequency.
There are certain mid frequencies you don't like.
I know.
It's like 375 you can't stand. I can't remember what the number was. What was the one you can't stand?
750.
750. You want it out.
Yeah, it's between 750, 800, around in there. But
Right,
yours is normally I can get 800 out. 750 is hard to get out. But when I go take the guitar, take my wireless, and I go out and I listen to the guitar in a PA.
Yeah.
It's just like a nugget. It's like a little nugget, and it just talks to the PA like.
Talks to the PA, yeah.
You know?
So Wyzard, let me translate what he just said in a different way. These guitars have vowel notes. O, ah, re, e, ah, e. They have these vowel notes, right? And there's certain weird high O, low ah he don't like. He wants it out. And what he's talking about is the vowel note that the guitar makes. And it happens a lot. And we have 2 guitars at work today that Bev and I were listening to the vowel note. We're getting better and better and better at this. There is a translation from your voice to the guitar. Like, God, is there a guitar in here? I can just grab me a guitar. Hold on, I'll show you right now.
There's some kind of guitar in there, Paul.
Yeah, there's a guitar in there. It's a low ah note. Hear it? It's not it's not E. Anyway, that amplified in the PA in my world sounds good.
Well, the guitar sounds good in the PA, but and also you're working in the ears. You're working in kind of a lot of artificial, things.
You're wearing in-ears?
Yeah, you hear like a reproduction in your ears, which is not the guitar. It's an amplified reproduction transmission. It's not, and it's distorted. When I say not distorted in a clean kind of way, but it's not the real sound you're hearing. So when you take your ears off, you play the guitar, you hear the sound coming out of the amplifier.
Yeah.
Like it's supposed to. But in your ears, so you can be having this beautiful sound and not be able to enjoy it yourself while you're playing because of technology.
The more I talk to both of you, the more I would just want to get on an airplane and go have dinner. I'm serious.
Yeah,
So I have to argue with you about one thing.
Go for it.
I did have an experience when I met Paige that I wanted that experience over and over and over and over and over again. I have had experiences where, huh? When I met my wife Paige.
Right. Okay.
And when I met Paige, I felt like I was home. Sometimes having a repetitive experience is nothing but good fun. It depends. And I remember a few times where, if you serve me bucatini pesto, I just keep eating it all night long. I just keep eating it tomorrow and the next day and the next day and the next day. There's certain things I just like to repeat.
Yeah.
Are any of your songs that way, Keb, that you just can't wait to play it in the set, or it comes up and makes you smile that you're going to get to do that one? Does that ever happen to you?
Yeah.
Which one? Which one?
There's probably about 3 of them. One is Henry. The other one is I'll Be Your Water, and let's see, and Marvelous to Me.
Oh, Marvelous to Me. I like that tune. I know that one.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
the new one, right?
yeah.
Good for you.
You know what's interesting about that is I think they're all in. No, they're not. One's in F. Well, one was in F. Two are in C. You know,
It's almost the same key.
yeah. But it's like those songs ring, and I have a few others that ring, but those I get a stream because Henry is about the blues. It's about all those guys that play the blues. 400 years of slavery and the results that it came through it. The negativity, the beauty, the suffering, the joy, the things we don't even know is there, the music that came through all that, and it's forgiveness at the same time. You know, it's like, so, you know, remember if you can, when cotton was picked by hand, you know, down in Dixie, in the southern skies, working from sun to sun. You know, remember if you will, lightning from a whiskey still, blues in the breeze, you know, a little sweet magnolia, magnolia tree. Because I can hear the Delta calling from the light of a distant star. I can see my future and I can feel my past when Henry plays the steel guitar.
We said, well, why aren't we playing that song?
It's like old Henry sitting down there, just, you know what I mean? And what there's is the sound, there's a sound that this music makes. It's like classical music of the, you know, Europe back when you listen to Mozart and Beethoven and Debussy and all these people. There's a culture of music that comes through, and it's probably a lot of it came through the church because the church financed it. You know, the church was the kind of like the what do you call it, the proprietor or whatever of music. You know,
the record label.
Yeah. But this was, in this case of the blues and gospel music, the culture of the African coming from Africa to America, you know, and the experience here, slave ships, and the suffering that happened. But in all that, there's a beauty that is bought and paid for. That had that not happened, that wouldn't be there for us. So there's such a high price paid for that music. I just cherish it, and I hold it up very high because my ancestors gave that to us. You know, they gave it to the whole world to enjoy and to be there while being enslaved. And at the same time, I think, well, what karma was being paid back to those people? Because always cause and effect is very real. You know, what kind of karmic debt was being paid back then? You know, what was that? And then, so it just, everything gets big when I play that song for me.
Well, Wyzard says you guys need to add it to the set. Is that what you said, Wyzard?
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Yeah, we need to be playing it. We played it like in rehearsal, and every time we play it, I feel what you just explained. And you don't even realize what's going on, but it's something very deep about that song.
Yeah.
The ghost.
Those words.
Yeah, the ghost. And
come around.
Time crawls along when we play that song.
And Martin comes out of the guitar when you play it. I mean, if you really listen, Henry and all his people show up. All these, you know, these spirits show up.
Right.
It means you go like, down, there they go. And they all come.
Yeah.
They're still there. They're still there. Let's go. You know, it's just such a
beautiful piece of music. Yeah.
And people don't, you know, but it's about that spirit of all that music that was played in the field hollers and the whole, just, you know. And we were sitting at listening to this song last night. We listened to Big Joe Williams.
Yeah.
You know.
And you, those are your lyrics that you just said?
Yeah.
Oh, those are beautiful. That must have been special when the pen was on the paper and you were writing them. You must have known.
Oh yeah, it just came out. I wrote it with like John Lewis Parker did the music, you know, and so we just like Marvelous to Me just rolled out.
Good
you know, it was about like George Floyd, George Floyd, when all that was going on,
Oh, I remember.
marches during the pandemic, man, all this stuff is going. I said, so I wanted to write something because I feel like he just made a sacrifice. He just made what's the word for it?
Sacrifice is a good word.
Yeah, he sacrificed himself. He was taken away in front of the world, and I just think nothing happens without a reason. What was going on there? I don't know. But when I look at it, we're gonna look back on George Floyd. That's gonna be a significant part of American history. And that song to me documents the feeling, going back to Martin Luther King, like, Martin Luther was here today. Tell me what we have to say. He would remain steadfast. I still have a dream, and the future looks marvelous to me.
Well, something, Keb, you're making me real quiet inside, which is a good thing. No, it's a good thing. It's a beautiful thing. So I'll tell you what, there's been a challenge set up about you guys doing a tune, and a challenge for me to try to beat the guitar you got. So here we go. Wyzard, thanks for sitting down and joining us. That's really sweet.
Yes,
man.
I know she told me that somebody wanted to see me, and I had no idea it was Paul.
Yeah, well. All right.
Well, Paul,
we're about used up. What?
You have to beat it, just
what now?
No, go do your thing.
No. We're running out of time. This could go on for hours. Like I said, I want to get on an airplane and just come eat and learn and eat and learn and eat and learn. Are you kids?
All right. I got to come back down to Eaton, and just, Easton, Maryland.
We have good seafood in this town. You guys have meat and 3 in your town.
All right, man.
All
cool.
Right.
It's a pleasure talking to you.
We're on.
Give my love to Bev and to Paige.
All right.
And the whole factory.
All right.
All right. Bye-bye.
Take care, man. It's an honor to know you, sir.
Honor to know you. Bye.
All right.